Italian boxer Angela Carini abandons the fight against Algerian man Imane Khelif after 46 seconds. It's another 2024 Paris Olympic scandal. Here's the point. If you've been following any of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, you are already well aware of the disgusting and blasphemous display of the drag show depiction of the Last Supper on opening night, which was an overt attempt to mock God and Christianity. This, of course, sparked immediate international outrage and sharp rebukes from people and nations all around the world, denouncing the stunt as offensive, sickening, and sacrilegious. The left-wing media went into their Mott and Bailey routine of gaslighting their defense, claiming that what we all saw was not actually a depiction of Da Vinci's Last Supper, not a mocking display of Christ and his disciples, but instead, this was merely an innocent depiction of Greek mythology and the Feast of Dionysus. Of course, no one really bought that explanation, and a phony "I'm sorry if you were offended" apology was issued along with a sermonette about tolerance, love, and inclusivity, arguing that this wasn't a subversive message that deserved moral outrage, but a message of tolerance that should be embraced. And that is important to pay attention to, because what we're about to witness is the same kind of defensive posturing from the media regarding the boxing fiasco today. So what happened? Italian boxer Angela Carini, a biological woman claiming to be a woman and competing in an all-women's boxing event, was punched across the jaw by Algerian man Imane Khelif in a match that only lasted less than 46 seconds. Carini pulled out after she claimed to be hit harder than she had ever been hit before in her entire life. Carini was heartbroken. She went to the ring to honor her father. She had been told many times in her life that she was a warrior, but she had to stop the match after 46 seconds out of concern for her health and safety. She had never felt a punch like this. While the story is no doubt shocking, it is by no means new. Whistleblowers like Riley Gaines have been warning us about this for years. Currently, there are two biological men who have been allowed to compete in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games by the International Olympic Committee. While Imane Khelif of Algeria and Lin Yuting of Taiwan are both allowed to compete in the Olympics, they were previously disqualified and banned from the Women's World Boxing Championship in 2023 by the International Boxing Association after both testing positive for XY chromosomes. Riley Gaines posted to X in outrage ahead of today's match, saying, as if the satanic display at the opening ceremony wasn't enough, the Olympics glorifies men punching women in the face with the intent of knocking them unconscious. Neither boxer, Imane Khelif or Lin Yuting, identify as transgender, but as DSD, different of sexual development, possessing both male and female anatomy, an extremely rare case that, according to the Alliance for Global Women's Medicine, has only been documented just 200 times since 1958. Expect to hear more about true hermaphroditism by the International Olympic Committee, which currently has no rules against biological men competing in women's sports in the name of transgenderism, and also the mainstream media, which is desperately trying to provide cover and support for this movement. So how should Christians think about all of this? First, we must recognize that this is God's world. He is the author and giver of life. All people, regardless of worldview, are made biologically, male and female, in his image. There are only two sexes. We are scientifically, objectively, immutably, male or female, regardless of how we think or feel, regardless of our own self-image. Dysphoria is a subjective mood, a feeling, or a discontent that some might feel surrounding their body image or their biological sex. Second, As Christians, we must recognize the spiritual realities that we face. We're not only living in a broken world, we are living among a broken humanity. Not only has sin impacted our soul, sin has impacted every atom and molecule in the universe. It's why there is entropy, cancer, and dysphoria. Sin impacts our ability to rationally comprehend and observe objective reality. When our minds are broken, we cannot fix it ourselves. That is why the gospel of Jesus Christ is so desperately needed. We cannot begin to understand the insanity of our broken world or our bondage to sin without first understanding the truth that sets us free. Truth is personified in Jesus Christ, who says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." We see that the critical misalignment in worldview at the Olympics was not only on display in the mocking drag show of the Lord's Supper, but also on display in a boxing ring where a man slugged a woman in the face in the name of gender inclusivity. While the media will no doubt go into hyperdrive to defend what happened and obfuscate the facts, we as Christians should not be confused by the times we are living in. All ideas have consequences, and in the words of John Stonestreet, bad ideas have victims. Angela Carini is that victim today, and until this woke identity movement is completely defeated, she won't be the last.